Hello, everyone. Welcome to this training session on configuring solutions. I'm just going to go through the agenda for today. Firstly, we're going to take a look at an introduction to configuring solutions, then lifecycle and versioning. We'll take a look at strategic reuse, solution integrity, validating solutions in test, how to release a solution, and then we'll take a look at some key takeaways. So let's start by looking at an introduction to configuring solutions. In this course, we'll focus on how solutions are managed in OSE. Many of you are already familiar with configuring fields, workflows, roles, or pages. Today, we're going to look at how those configurations are structured, validated, reused, and progressed in a controlled way. We'll explore how to apply the solution lifecycle, use versioning appropriately, make informed reuse decisions, and validate solution integrity before moving forward. Together, these practices bring clarity, consistency, and stability to solution management. And this session is designed to help you manage change in a structured and confident way. So I'm going to introduce you to Priya. Priya represents all of you, professionals working with OSE to manage marketplace solutions. She's responsible for guiding a solution as it evolves over time. As the solution grows, different situations arise. Some updates require structured version changes. Some scenarios require controlled variations. Some situations require a completely independent solution. At each point, Priya must make informed decisions about how the solution should evolve. This course follows her journey as she applies lifecycle, versioning, and reuse strategies to manage solutions clearly and confidently within OSE. Just note in this context, professionals work on marketplace solutions within OSE. They configure, version, and maintain solutions built on top of the standard solution. So why is configuration required? Configuration is required to keep data consistent, give users only what they need, get up and running faster, and make sure the rules are followed. Why isn't a one-size-fits-all setup enough? Because every partner uses different terms for their data, and everyone from internal managers to external suppliers needs a view that fits their specific job. By configuring a solution, we can keep data consistent, provide personalized tools, and make sure the rules are followed using simple no-code tools. This helps our customers get up and running much faster than if we had to build everything from scratch with complex code. So before we move on, here's something just to think about. Configuration gives us flexibility. It allows us to adapt solutions to each customer. But once that solution is live, every change we make affects real business operations. This is where discipline becomes critical because configuration without control creates instability. So the question becomes, how do we manage change safely? That's where lifecycle management begins. Now on to lifecycle and versioning. As solutions evolve, updates must be managed in a controlled way. OSE follows a defined solution lifecycle from edit to test to release. This lifecycle provides a structured path for solution progression. In edit, changes are implemented. In test, those changes are validated. And in release, the version is marked as ready to move forward. The lifecycle defines how a solution progresses once a version has been created. Lifecycle management ensures updates remain organized as the solution continues to grow. On the previous slide, we introduced the solution lifecycle. That lifecycle shows how a version progresses through edit to test to release. When a change is required, users can't modify a released version directly. Instead, they must use next version. Next version begins from the current release version and creates a new version in edit state. Before creating the new version, Priya determines the significance of the change. Versioning provides the structure for that decision. It helps her to apply the appropriate level of validation, maintain a clear and traceable version history, distinguish incremental updates from structural changes. The version types follow the major, minor, patch convention. Major breaking or non-compatible changes, minor, backward compatible enhancements or new features, and patch, small fixes or refinements. Each new version then progresses through the life cycle, edit, test, release. Versioning keeps solution evolution organized and intentional. Next, we're going to explore how to decide whether to create a new version or establish a separate solution path. I'm going to now show you a demo of how to create a new version of a solution in Opus. And from the main menu, I already have Opus Solution Environment open, but from the main menu, you could select it here by going to OSE here. But in Opus Solution Environment, you go to Available and then Company Solutions. And from the search page in the solution name column, you can select the hyperlink of the solution you want to version. So I'll just take this one, for example, click into it, and then select next version. And then from the version type drop-down menu, you can select between patch, minor, and major. Then be sure to select apply, and then save your changes. So that's how to create a new version of a solution in OSE. We're going to now take a look at strategic reuse. So as solutions evolve, different situations arise. Process adjustments, additional fields, role-based visibility changes, variations of existing flows, all of these are realistic within OSE. The key question becomes, are we evolving the existing solution or are we creating a separate path for it? If the change applies broadly, it may remain part of the same solution. If only a specific group needs it, it may require controlled variation. If the change will evolve independently over time, it may need its own separate solution. This is not simply a technical choice, it's a solution management decision. So taking a look at catalog versus available. Before making any reuse decision, Priya must first ask, where am I working? Catalog is the source layer. This is where base packages reside, base solutions are visible, the original structure exists. Available is the operational layer. This is where solutions are released and ready to move forward. Lifecycle applies, versions are managed, changes affect users, configuration issues often occur when someone modifies something, assuming it's isolated, believes they're working on a copy when they're not. Before selecting Save As, before using Download, before making modifications, confirm, is this coming from catalog or from available? That awareness prevents structural confusion later. Now I'm going to show you navigating catalog versus available. Once again, an Opus. If you go to the main menu and OSE once again, in the main menu, select catalog, and you've got standard solutions here or market solutions as applicable. And then you can, and so if we select standard solutions, for example, and from here you can then filter on the application as desired. In the actual table here, you can select the hyperlink to look at the actual solution details. Then to view solutions in available, again in the side menu, you go to available and then company solutions here. And then you can see the state. So you can see edit, test, for example. Just note that release solutions move to catalog company, so it might not be visible here. And then you can see whether it's been activated or not in this column. So now looking at download logic. Download creates an exact copy of a standard or company catalog solution in the available section. The downloaded solution is created in the release state and it's inactive until it's explicitly activated for use. When Priya chooses download, she's creating a separate solution instance based on a validated version from the catalog. The new solution has its own lifecycle progression, is independent from the original, and does not automatically receive future updates from the source. For the example, in Priya's scenario, Priya needs to deploy a validated solution from the company catalog into another environment. She doesn't need to modify it at this stage. In this case, she uses download to bring that exact release version into the available section. Download is appropriate when an exact copy of a release solution is required, no immediate changes are needed, a validated version needs to be promoted or reused. Download is not intended for small adjustments to an existing solution. If changes are required after downloading, a new version must be created and progressed through the lifecycle. Download creates a separate solution instance, which must be managed independently once activated. Just note the solution must be in a release state, i.e. the latest version, before using download. Save As creates a new company-owned copy of a standard marketplace or company solution. The copied solution appears in the available section. It's editable immediately and must be activated before it can be used. When Priya chooses Save As, she's starting from an existing release solution and creating a copy that can be customized. The original solution remains unchanged. Save As is recommended when customization is required on the current released version from the catalog. Coming back to our example in Priya's scenario, Priya needs to adjust a released solution to add additional data field for a specific use case. The core structure of the solution remains the same, but a few controlled adjustments are required. In this situation, she uses Save As to create a company-owned copy and then customizes it. Save As is appropriate when customization is needed. The base solution still applies. The copied solution will remain closely aligned with the original. Save As should not be used when the new solution must evolve independently with its own lifecycle and long-term separation. Each additional copy requires ongoing maintenance. Before using Save As, Priya should consider whether the new solution will be managed separately over time. Just note the solution must be in release state, latest version, before using Save As. Now that we understand versioning, Save As, and download, let's see how Priya decides which option to use. As a solution evolves, she asks one simple question: what is the right path for this change? If the update belongs to the same solution and replaces prior behavior, she uses versioning. If she needs to customize a release solution while keeping the original unchanged, she uses Save As. If she needs to reuse a release solution as is and manage it independently, she uses download. Each option supports a different outcome. Versioning, evolve the same solution. Save As, copy and customize. Download, reuse as is and manage separately. The key is selecting the path that matches the intended direction of the solution. Clear decisions at this stage keep solution management organized and predictable. This is structured solution management in practice. Now on to solution integrity. Up to now, we have focused on moving changes safely through the lifecycle, classifying change correctly using versioning, and reusing solutions thoughtfully. The next step is solution integrity. Validation means confirming that everything behaves as expected in context. Integrity validation confirms that the solution performs consistently across roles, workflows, and use cases. It ensures that access remains aligned and intentional, action tracking functions as expected, logic behaves consistently, approval flows operate as designed. This strengthens confidence in the solution before it progresses. Integrity checks belong in the test phase, where readiness is confirmed before moving to release. Solution professionals work with marketplace solutions that are connected to a standard solution for their application. The standard solution serves as the source of truth for authorization configuration. When a new version of the standard solution is released and includes updated authorization settings, those changes do not automatically apply to existing marketplace or company solutions. Reconcile authorization must be performed when a new standard solution version becomes active for the application. That version includes updated authorization or policy changes. The marketplace solution was created before those updates. The solution must remain aligned with the latest standard authorization configuration. Again, back to the example in Priya's scenario, a new standard solution version introduces updated authorization rules for a workflow event. Priya's marketplace solution was created earlier and doesn't yet include these updated authorization settings. To ensure alignment, Priya performs reconcile authorization. This synchronizes the marketplace solution with the active standard solutions authorization configuration. Reconcile authorization, update authorization configuration only. Does not modify unrelated solution components. Uses the currently active standard solution for that application. Authorization reconciliation ensures that marketplace solutions stay aligned as the standard solution evolves. We will now look at how reconcile authorization is performed. In OSE, go to Available and Company Solutions. And I'm going to take this one as an example. And you just need to make sure that the state is in edit. And if you highlight that row, you'll see that the reconcile authorization button is now active. And just click on it and then apply. Just note the reconcile authorizations button is visible only when the solution is under Available Company Solutions. The solution is in edit state and the user has appropriate solution administration permissions. Now on to validating solutions in test. The test phase represents the validation stage of the lifecycle. This is where Priya confirms that the solution is ready to move forward. In test, she verifies that the requested change behaves as intended. Existing functionality continues to operate correctly. Permissions remain aligned. Workflow structure remains consistent. Authorization synchronization is intact. Test helps us answer a simple question. If this version progresses, is it stable and aligned? The focus in test is readiness and confirmation. A disciplined test phase supports structural integrity, governance alignment, and overall solution quality. Test builds confidence before the solution progresses to release. Let's take a look at how to validate a solution in test. To apply a company solution to your network, this time we're going to go to administration. So to navigate to administration, go to the main menu, select administration here. I've already got an admin tab open, so I'll just switch to that now. And then go to network and apps and select network and apps here. You can apply a filter. We've already got a filter applied, which is what I need, Multi-Enterprise Information Network Tower. And once you've applied that filter, you would just select apply. And then we can then select the hyperlink for the desired network. I'm going to take this one as an example and go to edit. And we can see that the standard solution hasn't been applied. In fact, the company solution has been applied. The system automatically sets the standard solution switch to yes by default, but we have already applied this company solution. And then you can just toggle back to the standard solution if you wish, or toggle this way to then apply a company solution. And any changes you make, just be sure to select save. Now to validate a solution in the test state, we're going to go to OSE and we're going to go to Available and Company Solutions. Once again, we'll take this as an example. We just need to check the state of it. And then if you just go into here, if you want to move it along to a test state, you can just edit and move it along there. Well, this one, for example, is already in a test state. So you just need to make sure that it's in that test state first. Then from the main menu, we'll select My Network, select Go. And from here, if you select Purchase Orders and select Add New, all the edits that have been made in the previous course in OSE, such as the renamed title, the hidden assistive text, and workflow states, are now visible on this page. So we're now going to go on to the action history verification. When a solution operation is performed, such as save as, download, next version, OSE processes multiple components in the background. Action history provides visibility into that process and it shows the specific operation performed, the overall status of that operation, success, in progress, or failed, the start and end time of the operation. It also provides a breakdown by asset types, such as business object types, menu and page types, roles, authorizations, bundles. Each asset type displays its own status. This allows you to confirm that all parts of the solution were processed successfully. Some operations may take time depending on the size or complexity of the solution. Action history helps you monitor that progress and confirm completion before moving forward. In the context of lifecycle management, action history ensures that version creation or state transitions have completed successfully. It provides clear confirmation before progressing the solution further. So let's now take a look at how to check action history in the system. So this time going back to OSE, just open the tab here and then going to available company solutions again. And we'll just take this solution as an example and click into it. And we just need to make sure the solution is in edit or test state, and we can see that it is. So if we scroll down now, we can then view the action history. So just expand there, and we can see the performed action that appears in the history. And we can see that the overall status was success. And just note that action history validation applies in both edit and test states. Now, before we move on to how to release a solution, just again, something to think about here. When a new requirement comes in, how do you assess its true impact before moving forward? Some possible answers could be it's a configuration request or process issue, identify affected areas, and consider risks to live environments. Now on to releasing a solution. Before moving a solution from test to release, there are clear checkpoints to confirm. Release represents readiness. At this stage, PRIA ensures that the required changes have been implemented, the solution is in the correct lifecycle state, authorization alignment has been verified, action history confirms successful processing, the solution reflects the intended configuration. Release should follow structured validation. This step ensures that the solution is organized, aligned, and ready to progress. Following these checkpoints supports stability and clarity as the solution evolves. Now on to how to release a solution in the system. So to promote a solution from test to release, go to Available Company Solutions again, and I'm going to take this one as it's in test state. So just click into it and edit. And then you can move it along to the release state and be sure to save. Just note only solutions in test state can be promoted to release. And then ensure validation, authorization, reconciliation, and action history checks are completed before promoting to release. And release should only occur after structured validation is complete. And now moving solution from validation to production. In the validation environment, the solution is created, configured, tested, and moved to release. Once released, it's published to the company catalog, making that validated version available across environments. In the production environment, the solution is downloaded from the company catalog and activated in the appropriate process network. This ensures that production receives only validated versions. If changes are required later, the same structured process is followed. A new version is created in validation. It moves through test and release, is published to the company catalog, then it's downloaded into production. This approach keeps solution movement controlled, consistent, and repeatable. And finally, for some key takeaways. Let's step back and reflect on everything we've covered. A confident solution professional approaches solution management with structure and intention. They manage change thoughtfully and validate it carefully. They use the life cycle deliberately, classify versions based on impact, reuse solutions with clear purpose, validate integrity in test, and assess operational impact before progressing to release. This is what builds customer trust. Strong solution management goes beyond configuration. It ensures alignment, stability, and clarity as solutions evolve. That's the difference between configuring a solution and managing it professionally. And finally, a last thought for the day. What have you learned in this session that you will apply in your next release? Thank you for your time watching this training session today. As always, if you have any questions, please feel free to email tracinguniversity@tracing.com.